What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfellow back at the boxing clinic, and I actually seen another guy's video on YouTube on his channel surfing. I think he's called True Boxing School or something like that, and he talked about how Al Heyman made him fall out of love with boxing. You can look at that video up. I think that's the exact name of the video. But it really the label was kind of misleading, and I've been trying to get to this video for a while, and he pretty much pointed out the facts that these boxer promoters don't promote fights like they used to anymore. You know what I mean? There's no promotional platform for fights. They can announce Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia, and you hyped about it. But if you don't see commercials or 24/7 type of build up or something marketing, if you don't see it, you don't hear about it. You don't hear about the camp, especially if you don't YouTube surf. You don't get any interviews. The fighters don't make a lot of appearances, especially if it's not a fight coming up, before that fight for a while, or any good fights coming up. You don't hear, them promoting the fight, or they're not beefing through social media or anything like that. Then you pretty much, you forget about the fight until like the fight week maybe. Well, you don't even see a lot of publicity for fight week like you used to see. Where the grand arrivals, they don't do anything. You might hear, when the PBC first started, you might hear a commercial on the radio about the fight, a quick 20-second commercial, but there's nothing that makes you remember the fight. Similar to like, NFL, when it's game week, after Monday Night Football, then you see First Take. You see, ESPN, number of shows. They talk about football all that week. They beat it in your head. Baseball, basketball shows commercials. With Little John on ESPN just, talking about the game that's coming up this week. He talking about that they do a Little John commercial for a game that's coming up 3 weeks from the day of the commercial. So there's no good marketing in boxing. Especially if it's a Manny Pacquiao fight. Bob Arum doesn't really market any Manny Pacquiao. And the Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight was one of the worst marketing pay-per-views I've seen in my life. They didn't even market that fight like they used to, and they probably feel that the stretch and the weight and the want for the fight was the promotion. If they would have promoted that fight could have doubled in pay-per-view buys. They didn't promote the fight. Like when Oscar fought Floyd Mayweather, people gravitated towards that 24/7. People loved it, ate it up. People that wasn't even involved in boxing. Floyd did a marvelous job of marketing himself. Once he reached the pinnacle where he felt like he could just sell it, then he started marketing himself. And boxing needs a new marketing tool, especially if you're fighting on HBO or Showtime where nobody really, gives a fuck. And if you're fighting on free TV, or people just, charging through the channels, oh, boxing on, it seems like a good fight. They need a new marketing tool. I know Bob Arum had a little show for some of his fights. They came on like CSNBC. Nobody looks at that. We're going though. Shout out to him.